is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the heat, well, you know what it means. Monday to Friday, lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. It's a Thursday. Welcome aboard to the program. Hope you all are doing well. We got Shawn Stanley, of course, driving the program. And I'm pumped. Although the Heat lost last night, which kind of sucked. That was a rough one. Jimmy ends up spraining the ankle. So, hopefully they can bounce back. They did fight and, made it an overtime game and all that good stuff. And Tyler Hero was magical last night, shooting the hell out of the ball. Bam fought through it and foul trouble and all that. But we got football tonight, and I know it's hard to look forward to the game in the sense of, you're thinking about a victory. You know what I'm saying? But hey, listen, man, it's football. We're blessed to have it. The Dolphins are there. We'll see what happens tonight. Crazier things have happened. I know I'm not expecting a win. We're going to be at Sports Grill tonight. Shawn and I will be broadcasting live starting off at 6:20. Remember, this will be an abbreviated program today. We are not going 3 hours today, okay? We'll be a little under 2 hours probably today is what I would think. Got some pretty cool guests for you today. Daniel Oyefusi is going to join us, the Herald beat writer for the Miami Dolphins. Daniel will join us at 10:30. At 11:30, Kadre Ishmael, the Rocket, will be joining us. No, he's the Missile. The Rocket was his brother. He's the Missile. So the Missile will be joining us from Baltimore. So we'll talk a little Ravens and Dolphins with the former Raven and the former Dolphin. I always tell the story because when you see his name, right, a lot of people normally say Quadri Ishmael. That's the way they pronounce it. But it's really spelled Qadry. And so first moment I met him, right, he had his back turned to me. And I said, hello, Quadri. How are you doing, sir? And he turned around and he goes, hello, it's Kadri. So just in case, so you'll know, it's Kadri Ishmael, okay? And from that moment on, I I never got it wrong after that. So, because it's one of those tendencies with the Q, you kind of roll the U with it. You know what I mean? Even though it's clearly not there, So it's just one of those things that a lot of people say that they usually pronounce it at the same time. So, if Ethereum Elemental says that intro was intense. I don't know about it, intense, but it was, I'm jacked, man. I'm blessed. I have another day on this earth. Every day that we have, we are blessed to have it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here, with you guys and being able to do this show and watching the show grow the way it's growing and working with Shawn every day is a freaking pleasure. So I am blessed, and Shawn and I, it's amazing, Shawn, this is the first gig you and I have had together in the last 3 years that pretty much it's like BS and stress-free. Right? Yes. He's giving me the thumbs up. So it's a good thing, actually. So we kind of want to keep it that way. So I'm very blessed. And I'd be remiss if I did not mention, like Shawn, who's here, who's also a veteran. Thanks to Shawn. Thanks to my dad. Rest in peace. Thanks to all who have served. Thanks to those who are serving also currently right now. All of you that are obviously the reasons why we enjoy these freedoms, the reason why I am grateful to be here this morning and be able to do this show and talk sports and get together with all of you like we do every day, like a family. So I am blessed. And on Veterans Day, we also have to be very grateful to people like Shawn and others all throughout the country that have given their lives and their bodies and their minds and everything that they have sacrificed in order to protect all of our freedoms. So happy Veterans Day to all out there. And on behalf of everybody on our show, we thank you out there, obviously. So thank you on Veterans Day. So it is a day to be blessed. We are blessed in many, many different ways. Chris Adams says, loving the positive vibes. Well, man, listen, that part of it is it's easy to be positive about that. It's easy when you open your eyes and you get to enjoy another day. It's easy to be positive about that. You know what I mean? And we definitely got to salute our veterans who have, obviously sacrificed everything for hundreds of years to, for us to do what we want to do every single day of our lives, like last weekend. I mean, last weekend was the American dream for me. You know what I mean? I still get to do the show, and I travel to Atlanta and back to go see Metallica and Greta Van Fleet and Cage the Elephant. That's a blessed weekend. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Now this weekend I'm blessed because I'll be off since the Dolphins are playing tonight. Well, guess what? Shawn and I are off Saturday and Sunday. Shawn, what are you going to do with yourself? Oh, that's right. You're going to do a walkathon. Good man. Shawn is doing an Alzheimer's walk on Saturday. He and his group are doing it, which, I should be part. Is it too late to join your group? Huh, Shawn? No? Let me talk to the wife. Maybe we'll go. What is it? A 5K walk or something? 10K? What is it? 1K? 2K. Oh, 2K. Wow. All right. Let's do that. All right. I can probably do that. I need to lose weight. I've already lost a few pounds, which is good. So, they're going to give me that machine like in the 20-something of this month. And some of the little breathing incidents that I've had, I haven't had them in like 5 or 6 days anymore. And maybe it's because I'm losing weight. You know what I mean? So I've already lost a couple pounds. Hopefully we will continue to lose a couple of pounds. Bromar says, you drove or flew to to Atlanta? Oh, I flew, dude. Come on. I flew Bromar, weren't you on the show? You're always on the show. Don't you know what I did last week? I was talking about it all last week. I left on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, actually, Saturday at noon, arrived at 2, went, hung out a little bit, went to lunch, hung out a little bit, then went in at 5:30, I think, 6 o'clock, 5:30, because at 6 o'clock, Greta started, and then left at 5:30 in the morning. I didn't even get a hotel or anything. Slept in the car for a couple of hours before we turned it into the rent-a-car. Yeah, I am hardcore, bro. What am I going to do? Rent a room for 2 hours or 3 hours? No, man. Kick the seat back. I brought a pillow. Boom, pulled it out of the bag, and I napped for 2 hours. I'm hardcore, baby. Then I got home. This is the Superman part of me. So I get home at 7:30. Wife picks me up. I'm home by like 8:10. I'm in bed for about an hour and a half. Then I shower, and then I went to go do the pre- and post-game show. I will never do that again, by the way, okay? I had these tickets a long time ago before we made the deal with Sports Grill. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, my God. But I wasn't missing that concert. So I have to. But I won't do that again. I won't. Now that we know Sports Grill is every Sunday, I won't be planning that around there. Although at the end of the month, I am going to Cleveland to go see Genesis. So my buddy and I, Robert, we're going to go up there to go check out Genesis, go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, go to the NFL Football Hall of Fame, and then fly right back. Do all of that in 36 hours and come back. How about that? But that'll be during the week. So you'll see me next month. You'll see me doing a show from a hotel room. Because the one day that I'm staying over that morning, I'll do my show, our show, obviously, and then get the hell out and then go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and then head out to the airport. Big O, the Dolphin offensive line will play like veterans tonight in the trenches. LOL, wishful thinking. Would be nice, man. Would be nice if they could. Would be really, really nice. Chase One is saluting all veterans. Thank you, Chase. Everyone should be saluting all veterans out there. How about John Rouse is in the house? I see him on the chat board. Steve Chapman is in, obviously number one, like he always is. Chris Adams says, holy crap, did you see the drop in crypto market yesterday? Man, I bought the hell out of the dip. When I dip, you dip, we all dip. LOL. Hopefully tonight the Ravens dip tonight. Would be nice. I'm with you, Chris. And listen, did you guys notice that I told you CKB, right? CKB shot up to 332. Over 3 cents. We told you about it when it was at 1.9, right? And you would have, making money already. Then there was the dip. And what do I tell you, right? So I saw that it's got a high of 3.3 already. It's going to go way more, but, this is a long-term hold for me. So that's fine. It's going faster than I even expected it. So it went back down to 2.5 cents. You know what I did? I loaded up. And now it's back over 3. So I'm already making 20% of my money already. Right off of it already from yesterday, from going back in. Polygon got down to the 160s. Boom. Bought more Polygon. Polygon right now, I think I saw it this morning, still at 175. It is the best deal in crypto right now is Polygon. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I would do with my money. I saw, and I have Polygon really cheap, like at 68 and 75 cents and all. I got a lot of it there. But I know this thing's going to go to $10, $12, $15, $20 down the line. So right now I'm going to invest more in Polygon because I know it's going to grow down the line. And this dip, and it's been closer to $3 anyways, and it's high like 270, 280 or whatever it was. So I know it's going to go there and more. So why not reinvest now? So that's what I did. I bought a little Polygon yesterday also. I think Polygon is an amazing, amazing deal right now. And even Miami Coin went down a little bit. So you can buy a little bit more and stake it at 280. Use my link, by the way. You'll get $50 free of Bitcoin. So take advantage. And when there's a dip, you got an opportunity, man. Take advantage of the dip because it's going to bounce back big time. JG Long is in. Caddyshack in. Giovanni says he kept us up late to blow that lead, but man, Duncan needs to get on track. He's crushing us right now. P.S. Speaking of crushing, please, Fins, keep it respectable tonight. We want it. Yeah, we need a respectable performance tonight, and we will be here for you a pre and post game show. Okay, we're gonna be out at Sports Grill in Bird Road, so come on out and join us, man. Listen, what is there? Like a 50% chance of rain. Come on, man. You don't want to get wet at the stadium. There's no rain inside the restaurant. So come on out to Sports Grill on Bird Road and 114th, right off of the Turnpike. Literally, when you get off the Turnpike, it's 3 blocks east of it. And it's right there inside that Publix shopping center. It's right next to the Publix, to the right of the Publix. When you're pulling in, it's right in the corner. And it's a big, beautiful sports grill. Come on out and join us. Shawn and I are going to be broadcasting live out there, having some fun. We'll have the post game, and you'll have a Heat watch party too. So it's kind of a Dolphins and Heat watch party because the Dolphins are playing, and then we'll have the other TVs going on with the Heat and the Clippers starting off at 10 o'clock. So at least you'll have both Dolphins and Heat that you can watch at Sports Grill tonight. So please come on out and join us. Watch the Heat, watch the Dolphins. We'll have the post game show. We'll have some fun. It's a beautiful thing. Big O trying to kill my ears. Sorry, Tank McBride. I apologize for the pipes. Ravens going to have a field day running the ball on us today, hoping for the best for our Fins, but this game has another Bucks game feel to it, says Too Extreme. I know it's hard to feel confident. It's really impossible to have any confidence tonight. Tonight, it's just a matter of you're hoping that they come up with the performance of their lives. And somehow or another, we're like, wow, Brissett plays the game of his life and everything goes his way and the line is magical today. And, all of a sudden they have time to throw deep. And before you know it, somebody's going down 40 yards downfield and they're hitting them. And, we could dream. That's all we can do today. We could just dream and hope for the best. And then let's just hope that the reality isn't as ugly as it could be. You know what I'm saying? Robert says, Dolphins are doomed tonight. Flores and his floundering coaching staff will have no answers against Harbaugh. It's hard. It's hard to feel, it's hard to feel confident. Big O, do you like batido de mamey? Yes, of course, man. Yes. I love mamey ice cream. That's you. Instead of the shake, the mamey shake, which is good, but I love the ice cream, dude. Oh, ice cream is so good, man. So good. Miami Sports Fanatic says, Big O, good morning. Let's go, Fins. Let's go. Join us at Sports Grill, he says. Yes, please. Come on out to Sports Grill, man. It won't rain. It won't rain. Not raining inside the bar. So come on out, man. And you can have some delicious food, great burgers, ribs, those wings are just to die for. They got salads. They've got a vegetarian burger. They've got all kinds of stuff, man. So come on out, man. Join us. You will love it. And don't forget, folks, to smash the like button. It is very, very important that you smash the like button out there. We really, really need it. All right. Big O, what changes do you see the Dolphins making on the O-line tonight? I don't know, man. I have no idea. It's hard to predict bad coaching. It's hard to predict a lack of direction. And right now that's what we're seeing with the Dolphins. So we don't know. I would love to see a change at right tackle. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Jesse Davis is not a tackle. He's not athletic enough to play tackle. So play Robert Hunt at right tackle. I'd like to see Greg Little in there. It's time. It's not like anybody else is a world beater, dude. Put Greg Little at guard. Jesse Davis, bench his ass and make him the sixth man. That's, that's to start with. That's what I would do. But again, if you have poor coaching, nobody's prepared for this. I don't believe Eichenberg is this bad. I believe Eichenberg is not being taught well. And that's the problem. I don't believe a lot of these guys are this bad. Do you know how hard it is to screw up every draft pick? That's not the case here. It really is. And I'm convinced it's coaching. And we're going to watch if they do end up making changes and guys start getting cut and sent out elsewhere or traded away or whatever. I'm gonna track all these guys, and I bet you that they start to excel in other places. I bet Eichenberg goes somewhere else and he looks like a completely different player. I bet Robert Hunt goes somewhere else and looks like a completely different player. I would bet a lot on that. But we'll see. That's the frustrating part. So it's really hard, Devin, to predict what kind of changes you're going to see today, overall. Because I don't trust the people that are in charge. That coaching staff doesn't know what the hell they're doing. It's hard to get 3 Pro Bowlers in an NFL team. So how hard is it to have the 3 worst linemen and 2 missed games? I'm telling you. It shows poor coaching when you see all 3 of them on the bottom of that list. Big O, what's your primetime food today for the night game? You should always go with special grilled and teriyaki wings with fries. Let's go. I'll be at the tailgate. See you soon, November 21st. I'm a special grilled wings guy. I think, Shawn, you're the one, right? You're the, what is it? Teriyaki, garlic, butter, mushroom sauce, whatever the hell it is. What is it? Barbecue, teriyaki, aloe, sheepskin. What is it? What is it you got again?
It is special grilled barbecue garlic.
Special grilled barbecue garlic. There you go. Special grilled barbecue garlic cat.
Fries and coleslaw.
Let me have a little barbecue mouse. Let's see. I'll watch as long as a long-suffering fan. At least we'll start the game tied. Oh, Lordy. Let's see. Omar says, Big O, good morning. So I saw in a Twitter report that the Dolphins want to play Tua today, and he will get a special pregame evaluation to see how he feels. Tua might just play. Sounds like a bunch of crap to me, Omar. It sounds like they're making, it sound like he might play and keep the Ravens trying to prepare for both guys. See, the hilarious part about all of this is that at this moment, nobody fears anything that the Dolphins are throwing out there. So if Brian Flores thinks he's like gaining some kind of an advantage, he's not. It's just not. It's not like you're saying, well, Russell Wilson might play. Aaron Rodgers could play. Okay. Now you got to be a little nervous, but Tua's not at the point where he's getting anybody nervous, especially the way they call that offense and that offensive line. It doesn't matter. They're not fearing anything. So to me, it sounds like a load of crap, and it sounds like he's not playing. It sounds like we're stuck with Jabroni Brisket. That's what it sounds like. I mean, if we want to be honest here. Shock TV says, Big O, love your channel. I have subscribed because you are the GOAT. Well, I know I'm not the GOAT. I may look like a goat. You know what I mean? Sometimes, my wife catches me eating paper, so I could be a goat in that sense. But I appreciate the love, man. Thank you very much. And thank you for subscribing. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share it, all of that stuff. That's the reason why we've grown so damn much. We're approaching 1.8 million downloads now for the month. So slowly but surely, we're working our way to 2 million downloads per month on this show. That is just absolutely a sick number. I can't say enough. You extrapolate and do the math. That's a 24 million download year. We're pacing for 20 million over the next calendar year. That is talk about blessings. How I opened up the show, that's a blessing, ladies and gentlemen. That's a monster blessing. Thanks to all of you out there for making it happen. Chris says, Robert Hunt, a Pro Bowler in the next 3 years. Take it to the bank. Hopefully it's with the Dolphins. Well, if they can get him a coach to teach him, maybe he can be a Pro Bowler. But you're not going to be a Pro Bowler in spite of the garbage that you have out there right now coaching you. You know what I'm saying? The league putting us against teams with 2 straight buys, though, was messed up. Dude, they had their own buy. They could have taken. They chose not to. Blame nobody but Flores. Then after coming back from London, instead of having the bye, he chose to play, and then he had to have a light week because he couldn't have a normal week because the wear and tear of the travel. And then the following week, another light week. That shows you that Flores is a lightweight when it comes to coaching. So don't blame the league on that. Okay, everybody faces a team or two throughout the season that is coming off a bye. That's normal. But Miami had an opportunity to come off its own bye when they faced, who was it, the Falcons, I believe? And they chose not to. So, blame the genius that is Brian Flores. No, my guys are tough. They're completely untested. I don't know if they can actually do this, but we don't need the bye because they're tough. I know it. I know it by osmosis. Flow, man. It's crazy. Shib to 60 to 70 today. Shib is moving. Dojlin Mars is moving, and Shib is moving right now. 2 of the meme coins are moving. Yes, they are. You are correct, sir. And Bitcoin right now is stuck in the middle in the 65,000 range right now. It's not gonna consolidate a little bit, and bam, it's gonna shoot up to 70, 80 now. Watch. You'll see. You shall see. Big O, people tell me if Tua's fault why the O-line is bad, even though he's played, I don't know, but whoever tells you that it's Tua's fault for anything, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay? Tua's stuck in a terrible situation with a terrible coaching staff. What's it called? All right. So what's it called? Tua, whether it's Tua, Myles Gaskin, the aforementioned Robert Hunt, it doesn't matter who it is. They're all stuck with bad coaches, man. So I would not blame Tua for a damn thing that's going on here overall with the Miami Dolphins. I don't. Can't do anything about that. Do you think the problem with the assistant coaches and coordinators and not necessarily with Flores? Well, I mean, he's the one that hired them. So that's the problem. See, we're at a crossroad right now with Flores because you now have had a disgraceful season after you were showing some promise. And you have yet in your 3 years to be able to put together a coaching staff. So now you're going to go into year 4. And if he survives this offseason and he's able to coach in year 4, you already know he can't build a staff. So if you can't build a staff, how are you going to win? And if you're coming back and you may be coming back on a hot seat, then what established coach is going to take over? None. It's going to be near impossible for you to build a competent staff around you to save your job. I've been here, bro. I've seen this. I know what this movie looks like. I've seen the movie. I'm a guy. I like to watch movies over and over again. I guess I'm forced to watch the same Dolphin movie now for the last 20 years. So I've seen this movie before. And if he can't build a staff, he can't be a head coach. You're not a good head coach if you can't build a staff. It's not just coaching players. It's not just putting together the right schemes. It's not just make sure that they're conditioned and disciplined and all those other things. Okay? You've got to also be able to build a good staff because in the NFL, people will excel and they will get promotions and they will move on and you will lose them. You will have to replace those people. And if you can't find somebody else that's just as good or better to replace that person, then you don't belong as a head coach because that means you can't identify talent on the field or talent in your coaching staff. And that's where we're at right now with Brian Flores. There are a lot of responsibilities with a head coach. How you handle the media, how you handle controversies, how you fill and replace your coaching staff, how you fill and replace your roster, how you scheme your team, how it fits what talent that you have. There are an enormous amounts of responsibilities. And right now, Brian Flores is not living up to any of them. He looks like a buffoon on the podium, constantly, having to think for 10 minutes in between the ums of how he's going to craft a way to mislead you. He can't find any coaches. He keeps firing offensive coordinators and offensive line coaches. He can't fix his offense. It's detrimental to all of his players. He's losing a ton at 2-7. He's not excelling at anything. It's at a point that you have to look at yourself if you're Stephen Ross and say, why do I keep him here? Why would I want him here? What gives me hope that next year he'll figure it out, that he'll find the staff, that he'll win games with expectations now, that he'll develop players, that he won't stick his nose in personnel and screw all kinds of things up like he has. You know what I'm saying? So that's we're at that crossroad now. And you have to decide if you're Stephen Ross, you have to take a hard look and say, can he get it done? And if there's any questions and any doubts, you get rid of them right away. What you don't do is keep something around that isn't working. And right now, that coaching staff, that doesn't work. They're constantly outcoached. Their players have no discipline. They're constantly making mistakes. You know, it's just doesn't fly in my book. So we're really at a point where you have to look at it and say, Flores is not the answer. And how in the world would he be the answer next year? What the hell would convince you that next year he would be the guy? All right, let's take a quick break here. Daniel Oyefusi is going to join us from the Miami Herald, Miami Dolphins beat writer. Give us a minute here, and we'll be back with Daniel right here on the Big O Radio Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There we are. Ready to rock and roll, and there he is, Daniel Oyefusi, right? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes, sir, you got it.
All right, I love it. How you doing, Daniel? How have you acclimated so far to South Florida? What's it now? 4 or 5 months for you? How long you been here already?
Not just on the verge of 3 months, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, you see the light behind me. It's 75 degrees in the middle of November. I mean, life is good.
Yes, it is. There's no doubt about it. Where were you before? Tell the folks.
Yeah, I was covering the Ravens for the Baltimore Sun for the last 2 seasons, and I'm born and raised in Baltimore, so it's definitely different for me coming down to South Florida.
So was it tough for you to leave your hometown and the crab cakes to come to South Florida? Talk to me a little bit, because, like, I'm a hometown guy. I was born in Belglade, Florida, which, by the way, I'm a weirdo, as you know, Daniel, because most people are from somewhere else here. You know what I mean? Us real Floridians, like, we're a rare breed. But I did leave to work in San Francisco in radio for a short time.
Okay.
And San Francisco's beautiful, man. It's just a great place to live. It really is. Great people and everything. I had a great experience while I was there for a short time, but I hated still leaving South Florida because it's my hometown. So
yeah.
How did you handle that?
Yeah, like I said, that Maryland's home for me. Baltimore's home for me. I don't really have any family down here, so it's definitely a leap of faith. But with the Miami Herald, that opportunity that came up, I mean, to cover the Dolphins is, as much as the team has struggled over the past couple of years. I mean, it's a storage franchise, so it's an opportunity that I couldn't really pass up, and I'm glad that I'm down here for sure.
All right, so were you the reason why the Ravens were constantly kicking the Dolphins' ass? So maybe now that you're here, the Dolphins can win tonight? What do you think? Is there any shot here?
Man, it's a slim shot, man. It's a slim shot. I do think it's going to be a little closer than most people think. I mean, I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to be closer to like that 59-10 game in 2019. I don't think it's going to get that bad, but I think that, it's Thursday night. It's a home game. Ravens have to travel down here. I mean, weird things happen on Thursday nights, but I do think the Ravens are going to win, but I think it'll be a little bit closer than most people expect.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm not believing the BS with Tua and all that stuff. He's not playing, right? It just I kind of get the feeling that he can't make all the throws that they really need. He throws the ball, and people think, well, he's throwing the ball, but throwing the ball doesn't mean you can actually throw it in a game with the kind of velocity and everything that you need and all of that. And I'm just, to me, I'm not buying it. If I'm John Harbaugh, I'm preparing for Brissett.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Flores like straight up said on Tuesday, and I was kind of surprised that he said this because nobody really asked him specifically, but he just said, "Oh, if the game was Tuesday night, yeah, Jacoby would play. But we're holding out hope for the next 48 hours. I mean, if you couldn't play, if you weren't able to start with a fractured middle finger on your throwing hand on Sunday, I mean, and you weren't going to start on Tuesday night, I mean, what's the 48 hours going to do? I mean, they're holding down hope that maybe like the swelling comes down, there's less discomfort, but it's like 48 hours, and even so, if maybe if he's able to make the throw, is it even worth it? Like throwing him back out there and maybe risking re-aggravating that. I mean, you're about to get 10 days off before your next game. I mean, I think that they might be best. A lot of people don't like to hear this, but I mean, just sit the kid and let him get fully healthy. The ribs he's still playing through that. Sit him for an extra 10 days and come back, next week Sunday to a healthier player.
I'm 1,000% with you. I think it makes a lot of sense. And behind that line right now, it's just a mess. So you're better off probably resting the kid and giving him another 10 days. I think that's a great call on your part. Speaking of that disaster known as the offensive line, Daniel, what are you expecting today? What kind of changes? Because we were kind of talking, and I was thinking maybe you put Greg Little at guard and put Hunt at right tackle, and Jesse Davis goes to where I think he belongs, is the sixth man. That's where I think Jesse would excel, is the guy that waits in the wings just in case a tackle or guard gets hurt. He goes in to fill in and keeps the ship afloat for half a game or a game and a half or something until you can get somebody back. I don't look at Jesse Davis as a starter. I don't think he's athletic enough. So do you see any changes along the O-line?
I mean, it's possible. Brian Flores said that he was asked specifically about Greg Little, who they acquired him in a trade. He's a young guy, just in his third year from Carolina, and he hasn't even been active for most of the games. So he was asked, "What about him?" And he said, "Hey, there's been a lot of conversations about getting him some playing time and maybe giving him some run, but it's like it's a short week. That's tough to." Short week of preparation. That's tough to throw a young guy in there who hasn't played all season. If he does into the starting lineup, I would think that it would be at tackle, which means that you're either, I guess, sitting Liam Eichenberg at left tackle or Jesse Davis at right tackle. I don't think that they want to like completely like blow the offensive lineup and then just like play musical chairs, especially on a short week. I mean, they went the first like 5 or 6 weeks with a completely new offensive line every single game. And I think that they kind of like that continuity. Does Greg Little play? I mean, there's a chance, but on a short week again, I mean, is that really what you want to do? You think that's the best thing to do against the Ravens? I mean, this offensive line is in disarray as it is. Why potentially blow it up on a short week and kind of risk an even worse disaster?
Would you make any changes? All right, I'm going to put you as the coach. You've been around the team now.
Yeah.
What changes would you make?
So I'll preface my statement by saying over the past couple of years, we all know that the Dolphins have invested a lot of resources, a lot of draft capital into this offensive line. So there's a lot of incentive to make it work with the guys that are currently in place. There's a lot of incentive to make it work with Austin Jackson. That's why they moved him from left tackle to left guard instead of benching him. That's why they kept on moving Liam Eichenberg around. That's why they have Rob Hunt at right guard. And as much as people want to say move him to right tackle, I mean, I think he's been solid at right guard. It's like, if you got one position locked up, why don't you just keep that locked up and then worry about the rest? With that being said, I mean, we can't keep on doing the same thing over and expecting different results. I mean, that's insane. That's the definition of insanity. At some point, if these young guys aren't playing up to the standard, and the offensive line coach, John Pierre, he said this like in the third week of the season when we were questioning the offensive line back then. He said, if guys aren't getting better, they shouldn't be on the field. And I know that Liam Eichenberg is a young guy. He's had his struggles, but at some point it's like it's not getting the job done. Like, there has to be a standard set. And if it's not working there, maybe you got to put Greg Little in for a game. maybe you got to put Robert Jones in for a game and see what's happening, because they're doing the same thing over and over again. And it's not even that it's not getting better, it's getting worse. So they got to switch something up eventually.
Now, here's where the rubber meets the road for me. I think it's effing impossible that all these players suck. I'm serious.
I agree with you.
I also think it's effing impossible that you're going to hit on all of them and they're all going to be great. But I know there's something in between. And for me, Daniel, here's where I'm convinced. I'm convinced the coaching staff is nowhere near getting it done. And that's where I think these players are being failed. They're failed on offense. They're failed on the offensive line, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. Overall, it's a decline in the coaching staff as it is. Even on defense and special teams has gone awry a little bit, but specifically to the offense. I think because you have basically a rookie line coach, rookie offensive coordinators, you put rookie linemen to put in front of a inexperienced quarterback. I mean, if you think that was going to work, you're out of your mind. And that's where Flores screwed up. There isn't enough experience anywhere, not at quarterback, not in the O-line, not at the O-line coach, not at the offensive coordinators, nothing. And that's the problem. Because there's no foundation, nobody can look around and ask anybody for any advice, because nobody's been through hell and back and say, I've been there, done it. I've got Pro Bowls. I've got a Super Bowl. I've got a whole bunch of playoff appearances. I'm a decorated coach. I've designed all these lines. I've designed these offenses. To me, that's the real problem right now. I think your coaches aren't good enough, and that's failed a whole ton of young players that really needed their guidance. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, really, during the early stretch of that 7-game losing streak, I was just left kind of like scratching my head, I mean, the talent, I think we may have all maybe overestimated the talent on this roster, but on paper, this isn't a 2-7 team. This should not be a 2-7 team. They're not the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in terms of the talent. But this is not on talent from top to bottom. This is not a 2-7 team. And we know that there's been injuries to the wide receiver room. The offensive line hasn't progressed, and like you said, I think those are all very fair questions to ask. Is the coaching staff that's being put around the proper coaching staff to develop these players? Because it's, like I said, it's one thing to not get better, but it's another thing to get worse. I mean, this offensive line has legitimately gotten worse. Austin Jackson has regressed up until them moving him to left guard, where he's been, he's been a little bit better than he was at left tackle. And it's a fair question when Chan Gailey was the offensive coordinator last year, and they were scoring 25 points a game, which I think was the best Miami Dolphins offense.
It's Marino.
Exactly. And they understandably part ways because they want to kind of cater to Tua. But I mean, you have this whole co-offensive coordinator deal with Charlie Fry as the quarterback's coach, and we're doing a whole dance for the first half of the season, just trying to see who's calling the plays, really just for some accountability to ask the questions and say how the sausage is being made. So to this date, 3 years into his tenure, Flores hasn't really been able to put together a cohesive offensive coaching staff. Those are all really fair questions, and again, I say, I'm left wondering how can a team which, I mean, in terms of talent, I mean, if you compare them to the Texans, they have way more talent than the Texans. They have way more talent than the Lions. I mean, they shouldn't, I was almost kind of confused, how can you beat the Texans by 8 points? I mean, that game should not have been close.
Hell, how can you be scoreless against the Texans in the second half?
And that's where I say the coaching, it's not all coming together from top to bottom, from the front office, the coaching to the players. There's just some kind of disconnect. And somehow, depending on how the end of the season ends, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get that cohesiveness back.
So, Daniel, having said all that, I've seen this movie before with other coaches, okay? Because we've been in this vicious cycle for 25 years now.
Yeah.
So he has failed to build a coaching staff for 3 years now. For 3 years, he's constantly fired and changed coaches. He cannot figure the offense out. He actually had a good offensive coordinator last year, and he scared the dude off already, and he's gone. So why would you bring Flores back next year if you know he cannot build a coaching staff? And that is one of it's not just developing players, it's not just drafting players, it's just not out scheming your opponent. If you can't build and replace a staff, because as you know, you cover the Ravens, John Harbaugh doesn't keep the same staff every year.
They lost a whole
Guys
bunch of
end up
guys this past
yeah,
season. Yeah.
guys leave and get elevated and get other jobs like any business. In the Herald, somebody leaves, Daniel comes in, replaces him. Eventually, Daniel will get a Washington Post correspondent piece, and he'll end up in the NFL Network. He'll be, he'll be replacing Jay Glazer, and he'll forget about us. And then the Herald has to replace you somehow or another. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of this business in any world, and any CEO, any manager, anybody. You're going to have to replace good employees. He hasn't found them, so he can't even replace them. So why would you bring back a coach that can't build a coaching staff?
I'll say this, and I've kind of, as some of the pitchforks have started to be lit, like fired up and whatnot in the first half of the season. I would say I think that given his 2020 season where they doubled the win total, they were able to win 10 wins, I think that he deserves, and I know you're not going to he deserves the benefit of the doubt to see the season through and see how the season ends. Now, if he completely loses the team, if they just kind of give up on them and they're mailing it in, which I don't think that they have.
No, they haven't.
I don't think that they will, because there's a lot of prideful guys on that team. I still think
although you got to admit, X is making some business decisions at times.
He has not had
especially in the Tampa game when Leonard Fournette was right at the line of scrimmage, and he said, I'm not gonna make that tackle. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a lot of guys that don't make that tackle, but I will agree with you. He has not played to the standard that he expects and that anyone that's watching him expects. But again, I say that unless
you're right. Yeah. Most overall, they're still playing hard. You're correct.
And unless the wheels really fall off the wagon where you see he really loses his team, which I don't think he has, and I don't think he will, I think that he deserves the benefit of the doubt to see if he can get it right. And regardless, because they're not making the playoffs. So if he comes back for the fourth year, that's a legitimate hot seat. I don't think he should be on the hot seat right now. But if you elect to bring him back, the results got to be fast. You can't have a 1-5 start, a 2-7 start. You can't be slow out the gate like you have your first 3 years as a head coach. You gotta figure out how to assemble a quality offensive coaching staff, fix the offensive line, get healthy and reliable receivers, and then it's go time from the start of the 22 season. It's not. If it's 2-5 out the gate, if it's 1-4, I mean, you're looking at a potential coaching change. But again, I think he deserves the benefit of the doubt.
All right, Daniel, before I let you go, remember, follow him on Twitter at Daniel Oyefusi and catch his work at the Miami Herald. Subscribe so you can catch his work there. One more thing before I let you go. Tell me how much it sucks for you, me, and the rest of us in the media that Barry Jackson makes all of us look stinking lazy, because he writes like 87 articles a day. Admit it. Come on, admit it. You walk around, you're going, what are you, dude? A machine? What's wrong?
He's the hardest He's the hardest working man in South Florida, man. I know some days I'll wake up and I'll see 3 stories by Barry. I'm like, man, I gotta catch up. But he's a great colleague. I won't, and I've accepted it. He's the hardest working man in South Florida for sure.
Don't bother. Barry does a great job of making the rest of us look lazy.
Definitely.
Daniel, thank you for taking some time, my man. I really appreciate it. Enjoying your work there with the Miami Herald, and it looks like the viewers are enjoying your spot here with us on the show. Look forward to doing it again. Enjoy the game tonight, my friend.
Likewise, you too. Anytime.
You got it. There you go. Yeah. Daniel Oyefusi from the Miami Herald, Dolphins beat writer. There you go. Richard says, Orlando not happy unless he's railing against some coach. Sorry, neither Flo nor Manny D going anywhere. LOL. Richard, you know what, dude? You sound like the dumbass that doesn't listen to the show. Like, if you listen to the show every day, I've been telling you, man, he's not going anywhere. And I told you, I say Flo and Greer are staying anyway, because that's what Ross does. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't make a change with Flo. But again, if you don't listen to the show, Richard, these are the moments where you look like a complete idiot. Okay? So you run your mouth, you post something like you think you're the smart ass, but you don't listen to the show every day. You just popped in, and now you popped in to look like an asshole. You know? But that's all right. If you don't listen, dude. No, you don't listen. Because I've been saying over and over and over again that they're going to bring back Manny, that they're too cheap to fire him anyway, and normally Ross is patient. He'll bring both of them back on the hot seat because I've seen this story before. So no, you don't listen, because I've never said that either one are going to get fired. Neither one. At no point. So you don't listen. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You listen, but you don't pay attention. Okay. Let's see. What is it? Weak line, then move the pocket like the Titans did to the. They don't know what moving the launch point is over on the offense. Their offensive coaches are just king-size morons. They don't know anything. Everyone watching this show wants Miami to lose tonight, but they call themselves Dolphin fans. I don't think so, Patrick. I think everybody is expecting a loss. It's not that they want a loss. That's the difference, Patrick. I don't want them to lose, but I'm expecting a loss. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to, okay, no, I'm supposed to go out there and say, no, for sure, the Dolphins are going to get the win.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Right? So is that the deal? I'm supposed to go out there and think, oh no, for sure we're winning tonight. Come on, man. Of course we're going to be rooting for the Dolphins, wanting them to win, but deep down inside we can't necessarily, expect to win. I definitely do not want the Dolphins to win tonight. Why? There's one for you. Flo got to go. Oh, did you hear Jimmy Johnson say on Joe Rose show that he'd rather have mediocre talent on an O-line and a superstar coach? Flores, the train wreck, hired a Pop Warner coach. Of course, a good O-line coach makes. I didn't hear the interview with Jimmy. I probably would have turned it off anyways if I heard Jimmy was coming on, because usually half of the stuff is just crap. But anyway, if he said that, he's right. If you got a good O-line coach, he'll get an average lineman and make him serviceable. And make the guy not burn you, not hold, just kind of, blue collar, lunch pail, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I believe that. Definitely. When you got a great O-line coach, oh, forget it, dude. he can make so much out of so little. It's one of those deals, and we don't have that here. We don't have great OCs, and we don't have a great O-line coach. Giovanni says, I'm at every home game paying my hard-earned dollars investing in this team. I want them to win, but do the math and check the matchups. Hope for the best. Exactly. I mean, I want them to win, but come on, man. There's no way I expect them to win today. I mean, it would be great. You're going to hear me in the postgame show going crazy if they win. Not that it'll mean anything in the big picture because they're not going to the playoffs, but man, I would love to win, man. That would be beautiful, win tonight. You need so much to go your way in order to win. Antonio Abraham says they gave a rookie head coach a lot of power to make draft decisions for this team's future, and it went sideways fast. Yeah. And that'll cost Chris Greer. Yeah. So it's just, listen, man, eventually everybody's going to fall here because they're not getting it done. But I believe exactly what Daniels said. I mean, I wouldn't bring back Flo. I would eliminate it right there and then. To me, that's the only way Chris Greer can save his job, actually, is by firing Flo now and going to get a head coach. And then get the decisions away from that head coach. But it's not going to happen, so it'll probably take everybody down. And they'll bring him back for one more year. Flo won't get the coaching staff right. They'll have another bad start and all that stuff. I've seen this story before, man. If you can't build a coaching staff over the last 3 years, how do I expect you to actually find the coaches you need for next year? I don't. Unless maybe you bribe the hell out of the good coaches that are available and overpay them by miles. Maybe that's what you do. I don't know. It just sounds like Flo has his hand in every aspect of the team. And so while you're coaching, you still can be, kind of not really given the power to do what you need to do on your side of the ball. And listen, I understand with all the young coaches he has, maybe he has to meddle. But were you meddling with Gailey? I mean, how do you screw that up? Too Extreme says, I never want my Dolphins to lose, but it's hard to have hope with what they've shown since week 2. You know what, Too Extreme? That's perfectly put, dude. I always want them to win, but what shows you there that they can actually get it done? Finn's Life 2000 says, Finns fans have Stockholm Syndrome now due to too much losing that we want to lose. Twisted, but probably right. Let's see. An offensive system is horrible. It runs up. Okay. Rich Rodriguez says, you come to accept that Flo and Manny ain't going nowhere. No, here's what I come to accept. There, that's what I come to accept. Jean-Pierre's credential prior to joining Finns was high school. I've never heard of this guy before among NFL teams. It's nothing. He's a nobody coach. Looks like a really nice guy, but he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Finns need 3 turnovers in the Ravens' end, and they can't turn it over. It has to be like the Rams game. But you have to capitalize on those turnovers. It has to be, Orlando has to be 3 turnovers that you can actually score. You know what I mean? That's it. Bring in Chuck Pagano, and if Greer gets fired, bring Scott Pioli. I'm not a Scott Pioli guy. Sorry. That's, that's it. Let's see. I still dream about Tua's game against Arizona. We all do, my man. We all do. We all do. Panthers, by the way, back in action tonight against the Penguins. So tonight at Sports Grill, I'll tell them to put a couple of the TVs on with the Panthers at 7. All right. Then we'll have the game on at 8:20. And then we'll put on the Heat game at 10. So if you come out to Sports Grill on Bird Road and 114th, right off of the Turnpike, you can watch the Dolphins, the Heat, and the Panthers while having a delicious burger, ribs, those amazing wings, man. Those things are awesome. So come on out to Sports Grill on Bird Road, man. That's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll rock out there, and we'll have a good time overall. By the way, at 11:30, Kadre Ishmael is going to join us. So we will talk to the former Raven, former Dolphin, and get his thoughts. Nizzle giving us a little love on the Super Chat. Thank you. Remember to smash the like button. Always appreciate it. Thank you out there. Remember, we've got the Cash App and Venmo links right there on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcast, Cash App or Venmo, that's Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. If you want to get in, of course, and participate, as always, as long as you don't want to think like you're a smart ass like Richard and think that you're just going to keep saying stupid ass stuff and continue, and then you'll actually survive, and you won't. But outside of that, you'll be fine here on the show. We get all types, dude. Tony says Greer won't get fired, but next year he needs to be the GM and tune out the coach and bring in some veteran players. Tony, I think that's too late already, bro. I think he's made his bed and he's going to lie in it. And I think they'll come back next year. Like I like I've been telling you for a while, because Stephen Ross doesn't normally do this, and they're going to be up against the wall again, and he's going to live and die with Flores. And I think it'll take him and Flores down eventually. That's probably what's going to end up happening. So, and then we'll sit back and we'll have to question everything and all that crap, and new coach, new GM, new rebuild, yada, 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 yada. I hate that. But whatever. Patrick Humboldt says Tua would lose in a fight to Duncan Robinson and Nate Robinson and Baskin Robinson. I got to tell you something, Patrick. I lost a fight to Baskin Robbins a long time ago too. About 40-pound fight I lost. Now I got to try to lose the 40 pounds. Big O Jimmy said he likes playmakers with high draft picks and sign free agent O-linemen, and he said he wants a great O-line coach. Okay. Jimmy can say, did he say that he had to be convinced to take Troy Aikman, or did he say that he was the genius to pick Troy Aikman? How did he do with the Dolphins? Yeah, he found a couple defensive players. How did he do on offense? Huh? Did Jimmy brag about that? Did he brag about his offensive decisions with the Miami Dolphins? Or did he just stay with the Dallas one? Because that one, he hit on those. Did he talk about Jarris McFailure? Did he talk about Larry Shannon? I'm just wondering. Did he talk about John Dutton? Huh? Did he talk about trading for Jim Druckenmiller? Did he talk about Charles, I make gang signs, Jordan? I'm just wondering. Did Jimmy Johnson brag about all the offensive things he did for the Miami Dolphins? Trade away Byers and Kirby. Trade away Irving Fryer. I'm just wondering, how was that conversation with Joe Rose? Was it super riveting? Did he really talk about all the just incredible things he did for the Miami Dolphins? Did he talk about the thorough embarrassments every year in the playoffs? I'm just wondering. How did Jimmy address that conversation with Joe Rose? Or was he just living off of Emmitt Smith and company? Is that what it was? In the era of no salary cap? Is that what he bragged about? Okay. All right. I mean, it's like, hey, listen, if some of you want to go lie on the throne and, oh, my God, Jimmy the greatest, you go ahead, bro. Go knock yourself out, whatever, man. Give me a break. Underachieved at the University of Miami. Didn't do jack with the Dolphins. Left a couple of defensive players. Outside of that, he was a complete joke. 62-7. Yes, he had a great run in Dallas. Yada, yada, yada. Go have that conversation with Cowboy fans. I don't care. Okay? Let's take a break. We'll come back. Hour number 2 is next.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, AK aka the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, we go. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
And welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. Hour number 2 of the program. And, of course, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Shawn Stanley. He is getting it done. Going back to the days of Jimmy Johnson. And so I remember when Keith Byers got cut by Jimmy Johnson. And he wasn't necessarily happy about it.
Jimmy, his program and his system, that he puts in place, and if you look at his track record, it's more or less firecrackers, instead of bombs. It's more or less, short burst. Jimmy doesn't have any longevity in any particular program. And so, he creates a lot of stir in short amount of times. And so I don't see him, so if he doesn't get it done quick, Jimmy won't be there. He didn't put a lot of time in at Oklahoma State. Didn't put a lot of time in at Miami, the Dallas Cowboys, and to be determined with the Miami Dolphins. Jimmy, because of the way he is, he doesn't have the endurance, to go the long haul. He's good in small doses. And so in the short term, if he gets it done, that'd be great for the Dolphins and the whole city of Miami. But will he maintain it? don't even know if he can get it done in a new world order in the NFL with the salary cap area and all that other that. You know, he has to prove he can win. You know, in that, and that's more inclined, you know, to more of a dictatorship. And you know, as the years come, some players will want to come, will come down here. It's a great situation to play in. But as you know, he likes younger players. But as those younger players begin to get old, they're going to leave. He may not be able to keep everybody intact. But his system is designed, from the 3 to 5 year player. And after that, he's done with you. So after 5 years, you won't hardly find anybody on this roster with him, longer than 3 to 5 years.
On getting cut? Come on, Keith.
I wouldn't, call him, bad feelings or anything. Jimmy, he's a businessman, and football is a cold-hearted business. And personally, I have no feelings. I have nothing, no animosity or anything like that, in my heart against Jimmy. But professionally, I think the things could have been dealt with a little differently. You play as long as I do, you're granted a measure, of respect. Just as if you're, any head coach in a National Football League, just by your title, you do a certain degree of respect and to be treated a certain way. And business professionally wise, he didn't necessarily do that, but he's the head coach. He doesn't have to make any any reasons why he does the things that he does. It's his prerogative, it's his team, and that's his choice. I don't necessarily have to agree with everything he does.
So Byers then had the best line from being cut from obviously the Miami Dolphins and Jimmy Johnson. This is a pretty good line.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter to Dolphins or anything. If anything, I'm just remembered, just listening to, different speeches. I can, when they told me yesterday that I was released, the first thing came to my mind was Martin Luther King's speech, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Because I have a burden lifted off my shoulders.
That was a classic line by Byers right there. So, yeah. So there you go. I don't drink the Jimmy Kool-Aid like so many people drink the Jimmy Kool-Aid, So he had his one run that was really, really impressive, and that was Dallas. Okay, everything fell into place. He did all right in Miami. I think he underachieved at Miami, and he was mediocre with the Dolphins. Yeah, he found a couple of really nice defensive players that gave us some entertainment, but he destroyed the offense, and he was pathetic in the playoffs. So it's just, it's not as the hype doesn't really match the reality. That's my point with all of this. So it's just something that, when somebody, hey, did you hear Jimmy say this? And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, he's not the Bible, dude. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't give a crap who goes down to the Keys to go talk to him or whatever. I don't give a rat's ass about that. You know what I mean? And in the era of the salary cap, which is what we're in, Jimmy Johnson hasn't done squat. He never proved that he can win in the era of the salary cap. So, you could talk good about trying to keep your players when you have no cap. And okay, it's a lot easier that way when you got an owner like Jerry that's going to spend all the money to keep whatever you want because there's no cap. But once there's a cap in place, it's a different monster. So that's kind of why I find it as a joke when people are bragging to me about Jimmy Johnson. That's the thing. Let's see. What else do we have? All of Dave Wanstead's winning seasons were because of the teams. Jimmy Johnson. No, actually, Jimmy only built the defense, dude. So it's not teams. He only built the guys on defense. That's it. That's all. Okay. And Wani did add a Gunlier to that defense. You know what I mean? So that was good. And I think that he drafted Bromell and Michigan. So he had those three guys that kind of came through and helped opposite of Jason Taylor. And Wani actually did better on offense, believe it or not, because at least he found Chambers, right? Conrad was a solid player coming out of the backfield. Obviously Fiedler was a blue collar guy, lunch pail guy, wasn't really a franchise guy. That obviously the quarterback position has never been solved since Marino. But I mean, overall, he was able to find some pieces, right? Didn't he draft Randy McMichael also? So, he got a couple of pieces that helped out the offense. But unfortunately, it's funny because if you get some of those offensive pieces and add them to what Marino had already had, then you actually, you get a ring fire with Chris Chambers. That would have been good. You know what I'm saying? That actually would have been cool, So it would have worked out. It's a beautiful thing. I got all fired up about Jimmy. Sorry, I just kind of like to remind people that, because time passes and people forget and they don't really keep up with it and all that. And then all you do is see the fluff on Fox, and then you kind of like buy into the fluff, but that's really not the reality. And, I kind of like to show some light on the reality of what it is. And he's not as good as everybody makes him out to be, a bit more of a riverboat gambler that got lucky a couple times. Let's put it that way. All right. You know what? My man, I like it. Eve Shams, baby, is ready to talk from American Dream Lending. I see him there in the booth, ready to step in. Give us 30 seconds, folks. Let's talk a little Dolphins. We got Dolphins and Ravens tonight.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All righty, there he is, Eve Shams, baby. How you doing, my man? You doing all right? You ready for the game tonight?
I am ready for the game. I'm looking for a Cinderella ending tonight. Let's surprise the Ravens under the lights.
Although tonight's a cool night because we're going to be at Sports Grill doing our pre- and post-game show, but we'll have the Heat, Panthers, and the Dolphins on tonight. So that's pretty cool. You got the Panthers playing at 7, the Dolphins at 8:20, and the Heat play at 10 o'clock against the Clippers. So
action-packed.
It's a loaded night of South Florida sports, man. It's a beautiful thing, right?
What Sports Grill we at tonight, Big O?
Bird Road. We're at Bird Road for the rest of the run. We were the first 8 games in Miami Lakes. The last 9 will be on Bird and 114. So you're close by, man. Come on by.
I'll see you tonight. Definitely.
Come on by. Have some special grilled wings. And those of you, you can meet Eves. Come on out. Join us over there. Maybe you want to ask him a couple mortgage questions there, all that good stuff. Let me ask you, Eves. It seems like inflation. What is it? What's that called? The whatever shopping or whatever went up 6% now. The goods or whatever, I forget. And things are going to get a little worse now. I think down the line, obviously, because I don't want to get too political, but obviously when you print money like Monopoly, that's not going to be a good thing in the end. And when a lot of people are out of work and just getting free money, that's not good either. So how is that going to affect the mortgage business and the rates and those things? Will it affect it in a good way? Will it affect it in a bad way? What do people have to look forward to there?
I mean, it's really all going to depend on First off, what the feds end up doing to, stemming off inflationary increases as we move forward through the next year, and also how the bond market is going to react. I know, when you think interest rates, you think the Fed Treasury rate. That has a direct impact on mortgage rates. Well, it doesn't. It has a direct impact on the market that controls mortgage rates, which is the bond market, but it all depends how the bond market responds. I believe there will be increases in interest rates over the next couple of years, but they're not going to be drastic increases. They're going to go up an eighth to a quarter at a time. So, you still may not be able to get that 2% that was available in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But, 2% interest rates in the mid to high twos and the low threes is still available, which historically are record-breaking low interest rates. If you tried to buy a house in the 80s, you're paying 10 to 15% if you were lucky enough to get a loan with 20% down. So buying a house now obviously is still a lot more easier, and interest rates, again, are very, very low. So, if you're out there and you're looking to buy, you're looking to refinance, give us a call. We'll take a look, see exactly where you're at, let you know if we can put you in a better place and try to get you there as soon as possible.
Refi right now, is that the big thing right now that a lot of people are refinancing
People
and
are
saving themselves a lot of money?
Yeah, people are refinancing and people are still buying. People are getting pre-approved to buy because rent has gone up here in South Florida, 20, 30%, 40% in some areas.
I know you said that we've had a couple of our listeners over the last couple of weeks, and it's been refis actually mostly that have been coming in.
Refis, yeah. People looking to consolidate that higher interest debt, bring it into a lower interest rate payment, increase their household cash flow on a monthly basis, which will really allow them to, have more money in a household.
And by the way, here's the other thing. If you've got like credit cards and you've got equity in your home, you may want to do the refi now, get all of that in, make it one smaller payment for you monthly, because if inflation is really coming down the line, you may have less money to pay bills. So you want to lower those bills. So I think, calling American Dream Lending right now is a great opportunity. Eves is right there for it. Give them the cell number, my man, because of course they can call you straight up at 305-992
5218. That's it.
There you go.
Give me a call anytime. In fact, it's ringing right now.
There you go. So 305-992-5218. Call Eves right now. Things are going to get a little uglier down the line. You may want to consolidate those bills and lower that monthly payment. Eves, give me something else that people are doing right now a lot with American Dream Lending.
Right now, one of the best interest rate loans out there for our veterans are VA loans.
That's right.
Veterans Day. We definitely want to salute all of our veterans, our current military personnel. Thank you so much for making a sacrifice to keep our country safe.
It's a beautiful thing.
Everything that you do, whether you're on the front lines or you're in the back kitchen or wherever it may be, you guys are definitely appreciated for putting in the work to keep our country safe and to keep our country free. And, all of us at American Dream Lending, we want to thank you guys out there and really just, send out that outpouring of thanks to you guys that you may not receive from other people, and just let you know that, we're here. If you haven't bought a house, you want to refinance, I know it has nothing to do with Veterans Day, but look, we want to help you out. We definitely want to get you that house or save you money, and we're willing to go above and beyond to make that happen. But more of all, just thank you. Thank you for the sacrifice.
And that's why you got to call American Dream Lending. Call my man Eves at 305 992-5218. Save it on that cell phone, 305-992-5218. Tell them that Big O sent you. The beauty about Eves the lender is that at American Dream Lending, he will do the best to take the V out of Eves and make it a yes for you. So that's what it's all about, baby.
Nobody's products for everybody. Yeah,
nobody's going to work hard.
We'll get it done. We can get it done.
They get the V out of Eves out and make it a yes for you at American Dream Lending. That's what it's all about. 305-992-5218. I'll see you tonight at Sports Grill, my brother.
Good night, Big O. Fins up. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
You know it. Fins up. Later, baby. There you go.
Right,
Eve Sham. There you go. American Dream Lending.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All right, we're back, baby. We are back. You know, I love all of you out there for supporting us. And listen, none of us are perfect. And by the way, please call Eves because great people, man. Seriously. And please mention us because I think one of you actually got you refied. And like they didn't find out it was from us till like 3 months later that you called it for a question or something. I'm not going to mention your name or anything, but and it was one of those things where no, yeah, because I was listening to and they were like, oh, you really got you got it up from so make sure you mention our show. It's very important. If you go to Sports Grill, if you go to Caneswear, if you call Pallet Rack City, you know what I'm saying? American Dream Lending, Acura Pembroke Pines. It's Hialeah Park now starts next Thursday. Mention our name, mention the show. It's really, really important. So thank you all out there. But hey, listen, I appreciate all of you out there as always. But some of you sometimes, you kind of say stuff that's, wrong. And so we gotta, if we can, you can correct me, right? Because I'm gonna say stuff that's wrong too. Ald F. Jack on the chat board says Jimmy Johnson was awesome, but he too failed at bringing in a competent offensive coordinator. We had a damn good O-line and defense, though. They had a decent O-line. Do you know who the offensive coordinator was, sir? Do you know Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator? I mean, if you're going to say stuff, you know what I'm saying? Just like, don't pull it out of your ass and just talk crap. I could probably look up. I think he might have had a second offensive coordinator, but I know he had Norv Turner as the offensive coordinator. I'm pretty sure. Well, wait a minute. Here we go. I'm going to pull it up now because I saw it while I was doing the interview with Eves, and I was like, yeah, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because he actually had a pretty good staff. If I remember correctly, Jimmy could put together a staff. That he could do. Let me see if I can find the list of the staff for you for the Miami Dolphins. Where the hell is it here? Oh, Lordy, let me see here. Where the hell is the damn coaching staff here? Oh, man. See, now you guys got me working and all that. There we go. Where's it at? I can't find it now. No, and I know that he actually had some pretty damn good coaches. Just don't know where. This is crazy. Okay. Oh, man. All right. Here we go. This is great radio, by the way. Help me there, Shawn, on your end. 97, 98 Dolphins coaching staff. See if you can find the list. Because I'm trying to find the damn coaches here. And I don't know why I'm having trouble finding the damn coaches. And if you find it, tell me. But I know that he had some pretty damn good coaches over. I'm pretty sure it was Norv Turner. Because I've told the story before. San Diego's here practicing with the Dolphins in Davie. No, not San Diego, Tampa. Tampa's here practicing with the Dolphins in Davie. And I'm pretty sure Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator. So Warren Sapp goes to take a leak right on the field. So in between the two fields, there was a camera that's lifted up, and there's these big rubber mats that are protecting the players from running into the steel. He walked in between those mats and took a leak. And then he puts up his pants, turns around and walks away. At that moment, Jimmy Johnson's walking out of the building, doesn't see that what he was doing, and they both shake hands right after he took a leak. So, yeah, what was the coaching staff? What year?
97, it says Gary Stevens was the offensive coordinator.
There you go.
I'm looking up 98 now.
It'll probably be Norv Turner. So he had Gary Stevens and Norv Turner as his offensive coordinators. That's not competent? That's pretty competent. Gary Stevens is the great coach that said, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken. Beep. He told Kevin Ding that from the Miami Herald. Ding now, I think is he still with the Orange County Register? I think he's been covering the Lakers like forever. But yeah. So I'm sure it was Gary Stevens and the other was Norv Turner. You know, I mean, give me the whole staff. Not just that. Give me the whole staff. The whole staff was pretty good. That I will say. It was he was able to. Mel Phillips was still there because it was a holdover from.
AO.
Yes.
98. The offensive coordinator was Kippy Brown.
Oh, nice.
Defensive coordinator was George Hill.
Okay.
And
so was 90
was Larry Beitel?
Oh, Bechtel. Larry Bechtel.
Okay.
Bechtel is how it's pronounced. I remember that. So Norv was when?
Hold on a minute. And then 97, George Hill was the.
Yes, I remember George.
The defensive coordinator. Hold on a minute. Going to 99.
So either
Daly came in 2000.
And Chan did a really good job, dude. That 2000 was with Wanstead already at that point. So I think 90. So then Norv came in with Wanstead actually then, not with Jimmy. So Gary Stevens was the one with Jimmy. Was Gary his check 96 Jimmy's first year?
It looks like Gary Stevens was the offensive coordinator in 95 as well.
Okay, so Gary stayed with Jimmy because remember Gary worked with Jimmy in UM. So Gary stayed with Jimmy, then came in Kippy, then probably came in Norv Turner. That's probably what happened. They had pretty decent offensive coordinators in those days. They weren't bad. This is bad. What we have now is terrible. Gary Stevens, that's pretty good. I'll take that over this. God, any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Gary Stevens was a good coach. And QB coach too. I know Gary says what he says was QB coach also. Gary, I have no problem. Gary's way better than anything we have here. He was a good coach. I wonder if Gary Stevens is still with us. I don't mean anything bad by it. I love Gary Stevens. He was fun to cover, man. I like him. JJ got his feelings butthurt after Stevens' comment and fired him. Yeah, I know. But Stevens was being honest. When he told the Dinger that, he was being honest. You know? So it's just funny. I just find it funny that, we put the guy on this pedestal that, not sure. Not sure if he really deserves it. That the failures of 97, that let me tell you something, that's some of the worst coaching I've ever seen in my life. The Fiesta Bowl, that's some of the worst coaching I've ever seen in my life by Jimmy Johnson. So, the fact that he allowed that quarterback to throw 9 interceptions in 2 straight years in bowl games is criminal. Criminal. All right, here we go. Let's take a very quick break. Kadri Ishmael, baby, is ready to join us to talk a little Ravens and Dolphins next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right. I think he's there. No picture? We got it's straight up phone? Is that what we're doing? Kadri, you there, my man? There he is. There he is, looking sharp. Okay. I figured you'd do the TV stuff. You're a good-looking dude. I mean, they got to put up with my ugly puss every day. You at least are a pleasure to look to, You're a GQ guy. Oh, wait a minute. You're muted. You're muted. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have him? Yeah, you got to unmute. There, I think we got you now. No. What are we doing? You hearing me, but I'm not hearing you. So there's something going on. Is that like an NIU shirt right there? Is that what that is? Yeah, that's an NIU shirt, isn't that? I can't hear my man Kadri. What's going on, Shawn? What's going on? Why do we have him? Let me see here. How about wait a minute. Now? Try it. Wait a minute. What's going on?
Kadri, it doesn't look like it picked up your mic when you connect. Oh, there we go.
Oh, wait a minute. Say it again.
You can hear me now.
Oh, yeah. Now I hear you. There we go.
That was your Gary Stevens coming back at you thing. So it's funny because I was listening in backstage and Gary, the year that I spent down in Miami, he was the coordinator. So that was 97. And literally as I'm sitting there, like, dude could have been on The Sopranos before The Sopranos. That was kind of like the vibe that he kind of gave off.
Yes.
And he was just, real rough around the edges. I know I remember OJ Brigance and we were on his ball club, but OJ McDuffie, Juice was like, yeah, man, sometimes he and Dan kind of get into it. And I was like, what do you mean? So we go up to New England and it was bad weather, whatever. Well, Dan does what Dan does. So we were watching the film on Monday, and Gary's like sitting there. He's like, Dan, what are you doing? Like, I don't know if we should make that throw. Well, Dan was pissed because it was in the red zone, and it was just an unreal Hall of Fame type of throw to the back of the end zone and just hit the receiver right between the numbers. And there was like 3 other defenders around. And he was like, what do you mean? Don't make that throw. He goes, get the F out of here, man. This is like, that was a great throw. He was like livid. He goes, but you know what? You tell me because like you play quarterback. He's like, man. So I was like, wow, OJ wasn't joking around. Them dudes, they kind of got at it real quick.
Yeah.
So my Gary Stevens soprano before the Sopranos.
Yes. And Gary is the guy that I don't think he would go over well with the millennials of today's football. I mean, that would be really rough for him overall.
It would be bad real quick. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Dan did that his whole life where he'd wing the ball right through the ear of a corner, right into a receiver's hands. He was like the best at that I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody time it so perfectly so often that he caught the DB not looking at him and the ball whizzes right by his ear into the receiver's hands. That was magical. Not a lot of guys can do that kind of stuff. And that's probably what Dan is telling Gary at that moment. What do you mean, dude? You should be amazed that very few people in the world can make that throw. That's what he's probably telling
there was maybe like two guys that I've seen that could make that throw, and it was him and Brett Favre at that time. Now you got guys like, Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes or Rodgers. I'm not even going to say Brady. I think Brady is just more along the lines. He's just Mr. Accuracy. He's going to find the open guy type of thing. But we're talking those special plays. There's a couple of guys that can make those special type throws. But Dan was certainly the catalyst to start the whole thing off.
Yeah, Russell can probably do that. Wilson is probably one of those kind of dudes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen him do that. Absolutely.
Those magical throws that you're just like, what the hell did he just do? And it just, it's beautiful when the athlete crosses the passer, because we have the athletes that play the passer, but when you are an athlete and you're a passer like Russell, oh my God, wow, what a combination that is just absolutely phenomenal. All right, so tonight, have you talked to the Ravens? Have you told them to just bring maybe only 25% of the heat, and because we're at a disadvantage down here in Miami? Have you talked to them already there, Kadri?
The thing that you're gonna see, and I think all the Dolphins fans are gonna really hope for, is that this Ravens defense isn't like Ravens defenses of old.
Right.
They're last in passing. They inexplicably give up big plays because of poor missed tackling. I mean, they'll be having the guy dead to rights, assignment football, all that, and then next thing you know, it's bad. And so, the way in which they've played, I guess you can say at some point in time, they're going to clean it up. But I guess for Dolphin fans, I mean, they should be in their mind thinking, oh God, let it not be this week. It is a short week, and usually that puts a lot more pressure on either offense. But from a defensive standpoint, they're going to look at the tape and be like, yo, we can make some big plays out here and make this a competitive game.
Yeah, the only thing is, if I'm the Ravens, I'm also looking at the tape going, they can't stop the run. And that's exactly what we do for a living, and we do it better than anybody else for the last 4 years since we've had Lamar. And so that's the other thing. And I know they have like 87 backs on the IR, and they have a couple more backs there that are active this week, but they still find a way to be effective running the ball. And that's the one thing that I think, I'm hoping that somehow or another Miami can play this magical game and shut down the run and force them to beat you, at least in passing the ball, because that's what I fear tonight, Kadri, is that Baltimore will be able to run freely and really dominate the ball on the ground.
So, yes, I think for Greg Roman, his mindset is, we're going to run until you try to stop us. I think what we've seen, though, from Lamar Jackson and Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, we've seen this, hey, you guys are bringing this whole different defensive look on the first series, and it kind of, for a hot second can surprise a team. But with that said, with this short week, I wonder how much are we going to see some variety of different looks that really can confuse, the Ravens, in particular, what, Lamar likes to do with the rushing attack. He's been great with the ball. He's been throwing the ball just with accuracy. The moment you think that, we're going to stuff the run and we're going to play up tight, they have a receiving core that's been just phenomenal with pushing the ball down the football field too. So, pick your poison. I mean, I think, yes, they're going to want to do it. as far as running the ball, but go ahead and doubt them or put them in a position where you think you have them. And I think that's where you, in this particular case, the Dolphins can get yourself in the world of hurt.
Okay, so let me ask you, let me put you, and I don't know how much you follow our sorry team down here, but if you're the Dolphins and if you're going to try to, create an opportunity for them to try to make it interesting or even win this game, how would you do it if you're the Dolphins? What would you do offensively or defensively to attack the Ravens and try to exploit something that they can't do that you think Miami can do, which is really going to be a challenge for you?
Well, I mean, shoot, if you feel you can rush up the field and keep Lamar in the pocket and not necessarily collapse the pocket, but keep, we call it two gapping, where, the DNs are rushing up the field in a one gap, meaning here's your assignment, go get them. But you got your defensive tackles where they have both the right and left side of the player. And so, that offensive lineman, now he's just, he's kind of like just controlling him at the line of scrimmage, and he can go either one way or the other based upon, what he sees. Keep that integrity. We saw it from Las Vegas, with Alejandro Villanueva having his difficulties. We saw it, against the Bengals. Again, Villanueva had some difficulties, as well as Phillips on the outside. So, yeah, if you have a pass rush and you feel like you can, get out and get to the edge, yet at the same time keep that upfront integrity, you'll have a chance. I think, again, I wouldn't want to live by the big play, so I wouldn't necessarily put my DBs out on an island. I would say, if anything, you should feel like, yeah, we can go out there and, kind of keep a shell of a defense and keep everything in front of us. Make the Ravens earn it. There were some times where teams didn't take advantage of interceptions or tip passes, and that came back to hurt them. So this Ravens team is a strong offensive football team for sure, but there are some opportunities if you can take advantage of them.
All right, and by the way, we're talking with Qadry Ismail. You can follow him on Twitter. I am Qadry Ismail, WJZ host. We'll wrap it up with this. It's gonna be a little bit of a long question, but I want to know from an outsider's point of view, and I'm sure you haven't watched a ton of our games because we're kind of unwatchable at times. But from what you've seen, okay, I look at this staff, and they did a great job the year one with no talent. They blew out the roster, and then they went 5-4 to end the year. No expectations. Then the following year, no expectations again. They go out and win the 10 games, which was pretty impressive. This year, and they've changed the coaching staffs over and over again. And that's kind of the whole thing why the Gary Stevens thing, because some guy told me Jimmy didn't have good coordinators. I'm like, well, actually, they had decent coordinators in those days. They had Stevens and Kippy, and then Norv actually came in after when Wani took over. So they were decent coordinators in those days. I tend to think this, Qadry, okay? And you're the player, dude. You played the game. You watch it. You forgot more than I do and than I know and most of these people out here. I'm looking at veteran players failing. I'm looking, the offense is not excelling. The defense is not excelling. The special teams has taken a step back. This year you came in with expectations. My problem is I'm watching all these young guys and veterans also struggle. I have a hard time believing, Qadry, that all these players are terrible. I think it's almost impossible that you drafted all the wrong players. Some of these
are
guys
you feeling like it's more
coaching,
a coaching staff, lack of putting guys in position to be successful?
Let me explain this. This is what Brian Flores thought of this year. He brought in 3 offensive coordinators to play one position. None of them have the experience of calling plays or creating offenses in the NFL ever. He brought in an offensive line coach that has no experience in the NFL at building offensive lines. He put 4 young offensive linemen, 3 of them in their second years, 1 of them in their rookie year, and a journeyman. And all of that to protect an inexperienced quarterback that hasn't played 1 year. I think you put in a batch of craziness and you actually added insanity to it to think that this was going to work, because there is nothing you can lean on experience-wise. There are no proven coaches. There are no proven players. On the offensive side, one lineman can't look at another. If you brought 2 or 3 linemen along, but you had 2 or 3 veterans in there, then I think things would have been better. But you got rid of your veterans and you made them all young, and I think you added a recipe for disaster. You can't do this in the NFL where everybody's inexperienced. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think for a Belichick coach offspring, you're looking at the way in which you try to control the game. And the game within the game is, I want to control guys, but veteran guys are going to balk at it. If I bring in young guys, then I can, have a more sense of authority over them and how we do things, how we feel like, we prepare and practice and so forth, where some veteran guys might say, well, we did this at this place, we did this at that place. I think
they might be Dan Marino in a meeting.
Yes, and you don't want but now you as a staff have to also realize that, what, he did throw that touchdown. We wound up winning the game, so we need to go ahead and recognize. In other words, I think sometimes, it's the delicate balance of, you got to recognize talent, and you also have to recognize, coaching that talent. So from a recognition of talent, you might feel like, yeah, they check off all these boxes, but how do I get them to play with the level of chemistry that they need to play? And that's the secret sauce that Belichick seemingly doesn't share with his coaches when they leave him. I think he has this magical, mythical way of giving guys everything that they need to be successful, regardless of their years of experience in the league. Whereas I just don't think his assistants have figured that out. And when they leave underneath that wing, they get a stark dose of reality. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah, no. And right now it's not working, man. And I feel terrible right now for the Dolphin Nation, because it's a cycle we've been in for 25 years. You were part of this cycle. And it's just it's been a tough go, man. It's been a tough one. Kadri, as always, I appreciate your friendship over the years. I always appreciate you giving us time here on the program, my man. Enjoy the game tonight, my friend, because I'm sure you will. And sadly, we probably won't, my friend. But thank you as always.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me on, Big O. And I'm sure y'all going to have some fun down there and hanging out with Raven Nation, because from what I understand, the flock is out and ready to take over South Beach.
Just bring the crab cakes. That's all we ask. All right, baby. You be good. Thank you, my brother.
Take care, brother.
You got it. There you go. The great Kadri Ishmael, man. Good stuff as always. You can follow him on Twitter. I am Kadri Ishmael. One more thing before I leave. FIU, Pete Garcia stepping down, which is just an amazing thing for the FIU athletic program. The fact that they've allowed that guy to run that program for as long as he did is a crime. But I got to say, I laughed my ass off when Butch Davis says, oh, I'm not quitting. He's 1-8, 0-5 in Conference USA. He's 0-5 lifetime against FAU. By the way, thank you to Walter Villa. I read your article in the Herald and took some of your stats. He has been outscored by FAU 234-85. His contract will expire at the end of this year. Whoever the new AD is, they're not going to bring back Butch Davis. But I just kind of, when I'm reading this story, I'm kind of smirking and laughing, because there's so many fans that wanted Butch Davis at the University of Miami, thinking that he's like some kind of like really good X's and O's coach, just because he had a nice little run of recruiting with the Canes in the 90s, and that he left Larry Coker a lot of talent, which he did. He did a great job of recruiting. Doesn't mean he could coach through a paper sack. Okay, that's why he won nothing in North Carolina. But I just found it funny how they come to him and, oh, I'm not quitting. I want to keep coaching. And like, yeah, I get it. You want to keep coaching, but they're not going to keep you, dude. They're going to make some changes. Whoever the new AD is, something tells me that Butch Davis is not going to return. But I did enjoy the humor in it all, and I was laughing my ass off hearing that Butch didn't want to quit. But hey, congratulations to the FIU athletic program. They may now have a chance to build one. Okay, now they may have a chance maybe to get the basketball team back. And, you know, it's funny because years ago with Danny Price and Cindy Russo and everything else going on and the basketball team, I thought they were on their way, you know, and it's kind of taken a couple steps back, thanks to Pete, of course. Now you've gotten rid of what should be the cancer of that university. I don't know whose pictures he had. I don't know what nude pictures he had of somebody. I don't know what material Pete Garcia had to hold that job for a long time. But boy, every Golden Panther fan on the planet should be cracking champagne because Pete Garcia is out. That is the best move ever. Okay? FIU would be a perfect place for Manny Diaz to be their new coach. Got to pay off the referees tonight in crypto in order for us to win against the Ravens. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It's going to be let's see, what else do we have here? Let me see if we got anything new. Let me just check the market before I'm gone, just to see if there's any shell shockers going on. It's just coming right back. And I told you, by the way, didn't I tell you guys Nervos Network, right? It went down to 2.5 cents, right? What did I do? Right in front of you guys, I bought the dip, which I bought a little more of that dip also. And now it's back over 3 cents. So, you know, you gotta, I'm not, you know, not a financial advisor, but I'm just telling you, you know, it's, you just got to be patient. Yesterday I tweeted out, there's a small correction. It's going to bounce back, and it's already starting to bounce back already in the process. So good stuff there, man. I see Shiba is up 5%, and Dogelon Mars is up almost 7%. So there you go. And for those of you, by the way, that got in on it, Star Atlas went down to 16 cents. It climbed back up to 18. Now it's at 17. But again, that was another dip. That was one that you should have taken advantage of too. It got down to 16, 17. I'm looking at it here. So it got down pretty low, and now it's at 17. So it's already up from yesterday from that dip, and it's going to continue to climb, which is a beautiful thing. How is the weather for the game tonight? You got rain, baby. 50% chance of rain. Be careful out there. Come to Sports Grill on Bird Road and 114th. It will not rain inside of Sports Grill. You can watch the Dolphins. You can watch the Heat. You can watch the Panthers with us at Sports Grill tonight. How about that? That's a sports night. Hanging out with us, doing the pregame show, watching the Panthers, then watching the Dolphins and watching the Heat. So even the second half of the Dolphin game, we'll have the Heat game on also. So that'll be at least, you know, a little some to add. So please come on out. Sports Grill on Bird Road and 114th. On behalf of Shawn Stanley, we thank Kadra Ishmael. We thank Eves. We thank Daniel Oyefusi for chiming in. And by the way, if you do need a mortgage company, folks, call Eves Shams. I'm telling you, 305-992-5218. The great people at American Dream Lending will help you out. We'll see you tonight at 6:20 live from Sports Grill. Y'all be good.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.